I've been an advocate for movement and fitness for over 20 years, and it's completely changed my life. Hi, I'm Dr. Jess. I'm a physical therapist, and I'm passionate about all forms of movement, especially functional movement, and all of the insane benefits that you get from it. Also, I'm super excited to share my story with you. So, my story starts with being one of those kids that was just active, super competitive, loved to play every sport possible. If there was an open grassy field, I was a kid that was running down that field. If I could try and race you to win, that was me. I was like trying to win. And I got into a lot of different sports. Eventually I worked my way into soccer and got up to the point where I was, invited to go onto a travel team, and I was like feeling just good about myself, strong, confident, capable. Especially as a young female, that's really important. Then I started noticing that I was having issues. So like my knee started hurting, and not just like a little bit. It was like hurting to the point where like I was actually like having pain just with sitting. I was having pain when I was running, and I didn't want to tell anybody, because usually what you do when you go to the doctor and your knee hurts is that they tell you to stop moving and stop exercising and stop running and stop playing soccer, which for me, my identity, it revolved around me being athletic. I didn't know any other identity other than that, and I didn't want to stop, so I just kept going until I couldn't go anymore. My knee was really just hurting that bad, and so I went to the doctor. And we went to the specialist, and we went to the orthopedic, and they told me, and I was in 3rd grade at this point, and they told me, well, you know what, you have this condition, it's called Osgood-Schlatter's, which in 3rd grade sounds like maybe your leg's gonna fall off. It's not, by the way. It just means that the quad tendon is just pulling. You've got an overdevelopment of the quadricep, and it's pulling on the attachment of where the bone is, and there's a growth plate there, and because of that growth plate being there, there's an overdevelopment of bony deposits to keep the tendon attached. And so it creates this bump on your knee, and it gets inflamed and swollen, and it hurts. So I was told, you know what, like you need to stop playing all sports. You need to stop doing everything that you're doing. We're going to put you in this full leg brace. And once your growth plates are closed, once you're 16 and above, then you can maybe start moving again. Which for me at that age was like, I mean, I might as well be like retired and have grandkids. Like 16 felt like forever. I did what they said, so I went to leg brace, I atrophied my quad, I complied with everything. But I noticed that I was really struggling with, who am I? Like, I feel weak. I don't feel capable. I don't feel confident. I don't like the way this feels. And over the course of the next couple of years, I kind of just took it into my own hands. And I said, I will figure out what kind of movement I can do. I will figure out what hurts and what doesn't hurt. And if it hurts, I'll figure out how to not make it hurt. And I'll find my own balance, because nobody else was really willing to help me. And luckily, my parents were willing to let me try and find my own path. And that's where I really started to understand that when you don't move and somebody tells you that you're not capable, it messes with your brain. It's not good. And it's important to keep people moving and keep them confident in some way. And then as I got older and I started really dousing myself with knowledge in this area. So I got through my high school years, I played competitive sports, I played competitive volleyball, competitive tennis, like I never stopped, except for those few years in the beginning. I got that confidence back. I learned that like I can do what I want to do. Like I just might have to modify. That's it. And in college, I started working as a personal trainer because I just felt like it was so important to teach people that you can move, you can feel strong and capable. It might just look different than how somebody else moves. That's it. It might not be the same kind of movement. That's fine. And so working one-on-one with individuals was something I preferred. I did some coaching, things like that, and that was great. I just always kind of I just was pushed towards that one-on-one type of training, and I just felt like we could really customize programs that way, which it was just natural that like I ended up going into physical therapy because it's like the musculoskeletal system and the neuromuscular system. That's what I have a doctoral degree in, and that's what I spent those years studying and really learning how to master that knowledge, and then all of the continuing education that I've done since then as well. And that those are the systems of the body that I love the most. And as I became a physical therapist, it was really very cool to be able to see people come into the clinic and they're not moving well, they're not confident, and it really affects how you see yourself and your roles in life. If you can't, you know, wash your hair independently because you've had a shoulder surgery and you have to ask somebody to help you, that sucks. Like, no way around it. It does not feel good to have to ask somebody to help you with a basic need. It really isn't fun. So, being able to work with people through these phases in life where they go from like actually requiring assistance at some points when I meet people to getting to the point where they're fully independent, like that's awesome. One thing that I noticed though is that there's this gap. There's this gap between getting people out of injury and getting people into a full wellness based lifestyle. And that's where our healthcare system really has this divide where the bridge isn't connected. So we get you to the point where you're like meeting some goals, you're doing okay, but we're not getting you to the point where you actually have a lifestyle change and you're living a wellness-based lifestyle where you're moving your body on a regular basis to make sure that you're getting ahead of the next injury, ahead of the next illness, ahead of the next disease. Because with all of the research that I've done and all of the learning that I've done through coursework and working with peers and going to conferences, we know movement, regular, consistent movement, which includes cardiovascular exercise and functional strengthening, or strengthening in general, it doesn't have to be functional, but strengthening in general, are the number one key indicators for longevity and improving not only how long we live, but how well we live. And those two things are vitally important to every human on this planet. So here I am working in this industry where I'm getting people kind of good, but not to that point where they're really buying into this lifestyle of movement. That's very possible. So that's where I kind of like went into doing my own clinic and getting out of that fast paced, like boom, 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 patients all the time, tech, big open concept. I went into this world where, it's a much smaller clinic, much, private treatment rooms, one-on-one, where I can really spend the time to work with people the way I want to work with them. And my colleagues can do the same. And then, obviously, with the channel here in YouTube and any other channel that we've got information on, it's trying to get that bigger point out there of why is it so important for us to move our bodies and move our bodies well, and not just check this box of like, oh, I did just enough to get by, but like learning how to enjoy this journey and learning how to say like, I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to run a half marathon. I don't have to lift 500 pounds over my head or, do crazy intense workouts like some social media influencer or somebody in the gym or my friend or family member. Like, it's your journey, it's your personal journey. And so the point of this channel is to encourage anybody out there that thinks I'm not good enough, or I don't have enough knowledge or enough skill or enough, insert the blank, that you can do it. It's just going to be at your own pace. And the way that you're going to find that path is by starting it, one. And so that's why it's like bringing me into 2025 of like, what does this year look like for us? Every time we get to like a new year, we're always like, think, oh, what are our goals? And when I think about goals, I like goals. Goals set us up for the future and they set us up for success. Oftentimes, though, we don't allow ourselves to celebrate until we hit the goal, right? So we've got all this time, go, 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 forever, forever, forever. And what if we get here? What if we get 90% there, but don't hit the goal? Are we allowed to celebrate? I mean, we're 90% there, come on. So my goal for this channel and for everybody that's watching this channel is to learn how to celebrate the journey and to enjoy the journey and enjoy meeting the goal at the same time. Celebrate the goal, celebrate the win. The goal sets the path, it keeps you organized, it gives you motivation, it holds you accountable. All of those things. Goals are great. I love goals. I make goals for myself, make goals for my family, for the business, all of that. And get present. Ground yourself in today and find the beauty in today. So like I'm training for a half marathon. So my knee does not bother me anymore. I know how to manage it. I've been able to figure out kind of what my imbalances are. And, each year I work my running program to, I increase my running, decrease my running, kind of work on my whole body strengthening. I'm always kind of like, playing around with what I'm doing just to kind of not get bored. But like being able to like, for me, finish another half marathon, finish it with a pace that I'm okay with, is great. And when I'm in those long runs and I'm starting to like think about, oh man, like I'm kind of tired. Do I want to finish this run? Do I not? I don't know. It's like my goal is to say, you know what? You're in the run and enjoy it. Enjoy being in this present moment. You're able to run. You're able to be outside. You're able to have this running partner that you can talk to. You're able to like just see this beauty that's around you. Like it's like, hello, wake up. Like see what's present right in front of you and enjoy that. And so that's going to be a big part of what we're doing this year is like going on this journey and hopefully taking you on this journey with us of like, what does longevity look like and how can we get there? Longevity meaning having increased years and quality of life with those years. So we're going to explore a lot of different topics where we're going to learn from other people. We're going to share information we have, share research studies, small tidbits, big tidbits, whatever it might be, and just like continue to go on this like exploration of increasing quality of life and quantity because they both matter. So that's going to be like the exciting news of 2025 is that there's going to be a little bit of a different vibe in the videos and we're pumped about it and I hope that you are as well.